Hi and welcome back to my channel. This video is for NetGalley users who might want to put a large backlog on a spreadsheet the way that I have in order to be able to track your galleys by year. And what I mean is we'll open the iPad. I'm going to open Google Sheets and I'm going to look at my 2025 spreadsheet. This is my 2024 spreadsheet right here. And as you can see, it not only has all the books that I've read up until the last day of November, but I have read, actually I finished Finley Donovan is Killing Me, so we can throw, oh, I finished two, I'm sorry. Let me just put these here. So I finished the second one as well. I'm like, why is that saying Killing Me? Okay. So now this has all the books that I've read so far this year up until here. We just do this here, 338, 339, and 340. So currently I have read 340 books this year. Okay, so that's my 2024 spreadsheet. And I think I have a video that explains how I use this spreadsheet, but I might make a fresh one for 2025. We're not going to worry about that right now. But on my spreadsheet for 2025, I have created these ARC pages. This spreadsheet itself comes with book survey for you to add the books as you read it. The book survey turns everything into statistics once it's filled out. To read events, eventually I added these in because at some point in 2025 I want to read those series. Charts if there is data, but there's no data yet. Series, which series I read in 2025. Those are some of the pre-existing pages in this particular spreadsheet. There's also credits, get started, categories, and Gantt, but I have them hidden so that I don't have to deal with extra stuff that I don't use every day. So let's look at my 2025 ARCs. If you look at my 2025 ARCs, they start on January 7th and it goes all the way down to, I believe, August. Okay, I just got a new one for August, so I just haven't added it yet. And I will show you how I add in stuff that comes after the fact. So what we're going to do is, oh, I'm sorry, let me show you 2024. I should have showed you that. Starting in March, and then there's one in April. I have a few in May, a few in June, and this is my 2024 queue. 49 books, so I'm really, really excited to knock 2024 off the chart. 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, yes, I have lots of ARCs. Okay, there's my 2020. I thought for a second I didn't have it. And then I did 2019 and earlier because I have like one from 2017 and a few from 2018. So how did I do all this? Well, you go in here and you hit the plus sign and you click new spreadsheet, okay? We're going to call this sample Q, okay? And we're going to call sheet 1, we're going to rename it 2025, we'll call it ARCS, okay? And now we're going to bring that data over to this spreadsheet by means of opening Chrome and bringing up NetGalley. So as you can see, NetGalley is open, but let's go to the NetGalley homepage. Well, it's not. Let's go to the NetGalley homepage. So now we're at the NetGalley homepage, but we want to see what ARCs I have that I would like to save in some sort of method so I know that I read it, so that I know that I reviewed it, and I know that I am reducing the backlog that's in my queue. So I go to my shelf and we have here 2 books that I just got as audiobooks, and I have not downloaded them to my device yet, so therefore they're sitting in Start Reading. But I don't see my other shelves. Where are they? Well, let's resize the screen. I just gave NetGalley more screen space and reduced the screen space for Google Sheets, which is still blank, of course. Now, this is the iPad Pro. This process that I'm doing today also works on the iPad Mini, but I'm not sure that it would work on the iPhone, and I don't use my Samsung Galaxy tablet often, but everything synchronizes, so I'm pretty sure this all my data. I might check that later. So we want to see what my queue is. So we're going to the give feedback, and we see that the most recent download I got was today, December 2nd, and that was the Busybody Book Club that just came in this morning. Okay? Now, how can we track what we have? For example, let's go by publication date. If we hit publication date, right, it brings up February 2015. That is because it is Angela Marston's Silent Scream, which is the Detective Kim Stone crime thriller book 1 that just became available as an audio listening copy on NetGalley, even though it's a 2015 title. Exciting if you want to request it. And now my books are all in chronological order. But we want the newest date, okay? So what I do is I hit these two arrows that are at the bottom. I'll use my pen to highlight it. You see when I hold the Apple Pencil, it's highlighting it. I'm going to hit that, okay? So this brought me to the end of my queue, 55 pages over. Now we want to start in January, so I'm going to hit this one now. So I'm at the end, and then I hit this one, the one that's highlighting, and it's also showing you up there. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm grabbing that one. I'm still in January. Let's see. Okay, let's go back one more. You could go page by page. See that? 51, 52, 53. But you go back one more. And now I see October 2024. Oh, I see some January 2025. There they are right there. Okay? So that's where we want to start. Because we want to bring our stuff over chronologically. Okay, I'm going to use my finger for this. I want to tell you something. Anything in blue is a hyperlink. The book cover is a hyperlink. So you want to start grabbing where there is no blue or image. So I'm going to select his name, Alifair Burke. Go up to grab the title. Bring everything, including give feedback for the last book on here. I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to place it on the number 2. Okay? By placing it on the number 2 instead of in the cell, it keeps the columns. And we need those columns for what is going to happen later. Now, so we are chronologically from January 7th to January 28th, but we're still working with 2025. So we want to go forward a page, page 54 for me, and you notice it picks up on January 29th, 2025. So we're going to repeat the same process. Okay, I'm going to repeat this because I'm going to edit part of this video out. I'm not quite sure why it's not bringing over the second page in column format. So I'm going to grab a row that we don't need, that we can get rid of later, because for some reason it's not giving me columns. So now we've grabbed everything on page 2 of this. So I'm going to hit copy, and hopefully when I hit the number 14, everything will come up in a column. And now it does. Okay. I just had a little bit of a blip. So we don't need that line. And if you know anything about spreadsheets, you can tap that line, tap it again, and you have options, and my option is delete that row because we don't need it. We just needed it for the neatness of it coming over here. Now we want to go back a page because we're still looking for all my 2025 arcs. And you notice, oh, I'm sorry, forward a page. Okay, we won page 54. Now we want to go to page 55. So we went to the last page of this huge queue I have. We're going to start off by grabbing the words in black so that we don't accidentally trigger a hyperlink. Copy everything here. Hit copy. And I'm going to drop it on the word number 34. And it gives me the columns that I need, and we're going to get rid of that title. I am including that when I copy and paste because sometimes it will not populate in the right column. So we don't need that row, so we'll get rid of that row. So now we've grabbed all my 2025 arcs. So let's give Google Sheets the full screen so we can look and see what we have here. I'm going to try to make it as big as I can so that you can see everything. From January 7th, chronologically, all the way up until the arc I have for August. Okay? Now, let's decide on some column headers. Let's say we're going to keep title, and let's keep the word author. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep release date. And we're going to give feedback or review. So you know when you've done this. This is only if you're like me and you like spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. I have numerous spreadsheets. I just did the wraparound so everything would fit on one line. And then I get a little fancy. I go in and I center it with that. I'm going to see if my pencil will highlight it. Yes, align middle on. Okay, I centered it with that. But I want to go a little bit further. I'm going to hit fill color white. Okay, I'm going to tap that. Let's make it this light gray number 1. And now we've made our header different than what we have for the data that we pulled in. Now, as mentioned earlier, we do not need the release date, the archive date or the date that we downloaded. So you tap the letter C. Okay, it should hover. Okay, it's not going to hover. I thought it would. But I tap that letter C, and when I tap it again, I'm going to do it again. Tap it. And you see the delete column. We don't need that column. And this one here, we don't need either because we don't really care when we downloaded it unless you care about that. So we're going to hit delete column there. But you need to know, you may want to know when you read the book. So now we need to put another column back. So now we're going to tap the C and we're going to go up here where it says insert column left. So I'm tapping that. And now we have a blank column and we're going to call this column date read. So we're going to put it in alphabet format, caps lock, and do date read. Now, one other nice thing I like to do is I like to center my column headers, and so now everything is centered. So now everything for 2025, if you hit the check mark, is under, I don't know why it's on sheet 2. Okay. We're going to just ignore me for a moment. We have a duplicate here, so we're going to get rid of that. So we just created 2025 arcs, right? So let's name this. I thought I did, but I started a different sheet, but that's okay. I was going to rename this 2025 ARCS. There you go. Okay. And now that's our sheet. Now you go back as far as you need to go back. So we need another sheet because we want to do our 2024 arcs. I'm only going to show you a little bit, but you can kind of get the idea how you're doing this. You hit the plus, tapping, you can see at the bottom it tells you I'm tapping new sheet. And now it says sheet 3, but we want to rename it, and we want to call it 2024 ARCS. Okay. And now we have another sheet, and it's blank. Okay, so now we have a blank screen for 2024 ARCs, right? We want to leave the first line open because we're going to stick our headers there in a few moments. But now we want to bring NetGalley back. And if you're familiar with the iPad, you can, I was doing it with, I'm going to do it with my left hand. Now I'm bringing NetGalley back. Of course, it's going to bring it back by sharing the screen, but we're making NetGalley bigger, as we talked about. If we're doing this in order and we haven't changed the order of the publication date, the most recent one that we used is present, which is the page 55 for me. Okay, so we want to start finding our 2024 ARCs, right? So I'm going to tap this one here, the one that has, you can see it on the black up on the top of the screen. Okay, trying to highlight it one more time. It's not highlighting, but I'm tapping that, and I'm still in 2025. So I'm going to try tapping that again. Okay, now I start to see my 2024 ARCs. But remember, I want to do this by chronological order. So I have to keep going backwards. This is the only way you can do it. Oh, I'm right here. You see here on this page, it's December 2023, and then it jumps to March 2024. This is where we want to start for our 2024 ARCs that we have created over on Google Sheets. Okay, so just like before, we tap, I'm going to use my finger for this. You hover, you grab that black, and remember, we're keeping the title column in because otherwise sometimes it breaks the columns and doesn't give us the data in the way we want it. So now I have selected the whole screen, and here are my choices. So I hit copy. Okay, we're going to leave line 1 blank because we want to use that for the headers that we used on the previous sheet. So now I hit paste, and everything from, oh, I'm sorry, somehow I copied in some 2023 data because I was just moving too fast. But here you get to see me getting rid of that. We don't need it right now. So act like you didn't see that. So now we have a column we do not need, so we're going to get rid of that. We need it when we bring it over so that it maintains the columns, okay? So really quickly, we'll get rid of that. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to increase the page so that you can see the whole title and author. So that's what I just did there. So I hit that check mark again, and now we're going to pick up on line 19. How do we pick up on line 19? I go forward to page 52. So we were on page 51. That goes to June 2024. So let's hit 52. Do we have any? Yes, we still have more. This whole sheet here is, oh, I'm sorry. This whole sheet here is 2024 ARCs. So I am grabbing that. It's funny because I'm starting a happier life tomorrow. So it's funny to see it right there. So I'm grabbing these. I'm hitting copy, as you see. I'm going to line 19 on my Google Sheets. And then I'm going to hit paste. That must not have hit it. Okay, and now we have, no, we didn't do it. Okay, so let's do this again. Oh, I forgot to grab, see how I did not grab title? Okay, let me show you what I did wrong, so in case you do it too. You see when I brought this in, it didn't maintain my columns, and we're just going to close that for a second. Look at that. What did I do wrong? See how that's good and that's not good? I'm kind of glad that mistake is there. So we're going to undo that, okay? And then we're going to bring our NetGalley back. Remember, we need to give NetGalley more screen space so we have the date. And then I went up and I grabbed title because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I need to get this in order so I have columns. So now I can hit copy. Now I hit copy again. and now I hit the 19, and I hit paste, and my columns are maintained. Okay, so go back and watch that mistake that I did if you're having the same problem, so you can see. I'm getting rid of that line we don't need, so that you can see how I undid that mistake and put the right data in the right format. So that is kind of a good thing. Now let's go to page 53 to see if we have more 2024 ARCs. And we do, but not the whole page. It goes to December 10th, 2024. Okay, that's where it goes to. So now we grab Zoe Allison's name, but we also want to go up and grab that title. And we only want the 2024 ARCs that are on this page, because we've already cataloged our 2025 ARCs. But it grabbed them, so we're going to go back up and say, no, we don't want you. We want to go back up to December 10th, 2024. There we go. Now, we hit the word copy. We come back over to our Google Sheets. We're on line 39 now. I just resized that by mistake. We're on line 39. I'm going to hit tap it, and I'm going to hit paste. And now we have brought over the rest of 2024. So let's temporarily move NetGalley out of the way. Remember, when we do that, we have to copy in this row here to maintain our columns. So now that we're with that, I'll use my pencil. I have the option now. Oh, I just made a mistake, but that's okay. You just hit the undo button when you make a mistake, like I just did. So you have that page, that line we don't need, which is delete row. We don't need that, so we tap that. So now on this page, you have all the 2024 ARCs that I have in my collection, right? But remember, we don't care about the release date, and we don't care about the archive date. The archive date, and we don't care about the date we downloaded. So for right now, we're going to delete that column, and we're going to take C, and we're going to delete that column. But remember, we do want a blank column here. So now we're going to go over and insert column left. It's just easier to do it for me to demonstrate it this way. There's other ways you can get rid of data. Lots of other ways. This is a spreadsheet, but I'm just showing you the easiest way. So now we have our spreadsheet. If we hit the check mark at the top, now we have our 2024 ARCs and our 2025 ARCs. But we don't have a header here. So the way that I do the header, just to save time, is I go over, I tap it, I hit copy, and then I hit the check mark. I go back to 2024. I go to the top line. Let's make the screen bigger so you can see what I'm doing. And I hit paste. And now I have brought over the header that I just used on the previous page. And you can keep bringing the header over depending on how many years you want to do. So what we have here are our 2025 ARCs and our 2024 ARCs, okay? Now, I want to show you how to bring sheets like this into an existing spreadsheet. So now we're going to open my 2025 spreadsheet. I've got all the stuff here, but now I want to bring in two more things. So I have not yet downloaded, right? So that's what we'll call it. We're going to rename a new sheet, not yet. And you'll see why I'm doing this, but you'll also see that I just brought in a new sheet to an existing spreadsheet. I'm sorry, I went off the screen. I just brought a new sheet into an existing spreadsheet that's already populated with other data. You see that? So I just brought in not yet downloaded. So now I'm going to show you that you can easily bring in data to an existing spreadsheet if you use a certain spreadsheet. So again, we're going to split the screen, bring back NetGalley. I'm going to give NetGalley the bigger screen. I'm going back to start reading because I know that I have two books I have not yet downloaded, and these are audiobooks, right? So I'm just bringing all this over here. I want to put title there because I want to maintain the columns. I hit copy, I stick it here, and let's get rid of title really quickly. Let's give Google Sheets the whole page so you can see what I'm doing. I just want to demonstrate this. And what I just did is I just brought in these 2 ARCs that I just downloaded today that I have not yet, that I just got approved for today that I have not yet brought over. So I put not yet downloaded. I don't know that I'll always need this page because you can of course check this on your NetGalley website, your page, my NetGalley. And when I say my NetGalley, I simply mean your shelf. So let's just, for the heck of it, if you see your shelf right here, of course you can see what you've downloaded and what you haven't. But if you're tracking hundreds of ARCs like I am tracking, that I intend to make a huge dent in 2025, then you'll see the value of bringing data over into existing spreadsheets. And one more time, I have 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and so forth. So we're going to hit the back arrow right here. Okay, it says back, and it brings me to the list of spreadsheets that I have. I have the 2025 spreadsheet. I have the sample Q, which is the one that we just created. I have my 2024. I have the blank one. I'm going down too low. Monthly budget. Okay, all of that. I even have series because I'm a series fanatic somewhere in here. I'm not sure where it is. I'm getting nervous because I'm missing a spreadsheet. Oh, series I am reading. Okay. I have been maintaining a series spreadsheet since 2021. Okay. So 2021, 2022, 2023. These are other things here in 2024, and I have not yet made one for 2025 yet. So I was a little nervous there for a second. So my existing spreadsheets are going to be on my main page. So if you're not familiar with Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, let me know and we can go over that really slowly. This is mainly so that if you have, like I said, a NetGalley queue, which I have, give feedback. I have a NetGalley backlog, obviously upcoming books, but then I have the backlog. And I want to track over here, and let's go back to 2025. I want to track the title and the author, when it's released, the date that I read it, once I read it actually, and then feedback review. So now we're going to look at one last thing in this video. Why did we keep feedback review when we did not keep the date read, the date archived and the date downloaded? Now, I'm going to tap on number 2, right? If I hit the note for Alifair Burke, it just highlights that window. But if I go to the bottom of the screen and I tap that blue, that's a hyperlink. So if I tap that, guess what? It brings me to the NetGalley page for that book. That's why I love this. Let's say that I read the book, I wrote the review, and now I want to give feedback, and I just want to check my spreadsheet. Did I give feedback? Oh, no, I didn't. So I tap that, and now I hit the bottom, give feedback, and if I had read the book, now I can leave feedback for that. So that's kind of why I leave that in. But I think we want to stick in one more column, okay? Let's say date completed. We'll call this one date submitted. We'll just use that one. You can call it anything you want, okay? I'm going to hit the wraparound, and now we have date submitted. But wait a minute. I just put this on my 2024 sheet, but it's not on my 2025. So I tap the number 1, tap it again, hit copy, hit the check mark there, go back to I was in 2025 already. Go to 2024 and give myself that extra column that I might need. So now I just gave myself that extra column. So I think that's about it for showing you how you can bring your NetGalley queue into your Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel with maintaining the hyperlinks. So let's hit the check mark for a second. It's maintaining the hyperlinks, okay? And it will take you to NetGalley if you need to check to see about the book that you are going to read next. Let's say you don't want to read your galleys in order, because let's say, for example, you have several books by Debbie Mason. I just grabbing that out of the blue, and I know I said I only had one more thing. But you grab in this, you see Debbie Mason. Let's say you know you have 3 Debbie Mason books. You can go ahead and read that Debbie Mason book whenever you want. Just put the date down so you know you read it. And then if you feel like going back in order, then you can do that too. So that's just showing you that you can read these books in any order, just like you already do, I'm sure. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to see if this came through okay, and if it did, I will edit it and get it up to you. And again, I'm just going to go to my home page. The 2 pages we used Google Sheets, and of course we used the browser. And you know, quite naturally we used the NetGalley. We went to the NetGalley site. And then if I can elaborate a little bit, I'm also using Bookly, okay? I haven't logged this, but I just finished Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. I just finished that, but I haven't not yet logged it. But I also used this to maintain my library in order to give myself these beautiful stats, like my November calendar, for example. That's how I read in November. Or I might want to look at this in statistical ways. So let's say I want to see what I did in November, and I hit 1 in 30. I should use my pencil because it will highlight. And then I hit let's do that again. So I hit custom. You can see that it tells you. And now I want December 1st to December 30th. November 1st to November 30th. Then I hit done. And now my November report is here. All the books I read in November, the number of pages, the most I read in a day, the average reading speed that I have, how many hours I read, and how many pages I read for November. So I just thought I would just throw that in because I was on my home screen, and you can see Bookly is right there. So we have Bookly, we have Chrome, which it could be Safari, it could be whatever you use for your, because as you can see, I have Safari right there. I could have done all of this with Safari, but I did all of this with Google Chrome. So I think that's it. So let me go ahead and try to edit this video properly so that you can see what I've done. And hopefully this will be helpful to you. And I will see you next time.